Do you hear them? Thousands of voices gather at board tables all across the country. What are they discussing? What are they deciding? How are they creating successful futures for their organizations? The past few years have been far from routine. Some nonprofits have been stunned, traumatized, preoccupied with crisis. Others have found new or renewed resilience and resolve. Business models have been re-examined, new relationships considered, new possibilities imagined.
Everybody who's in this country or in the world, they know that we have a global financial disaster. I don't know any other way to say it. And that has impacted nonprofits, and it has impacted individuals. The impact, financial impact, is felt by all of us. And we've had to do some different things in order to make it work. This last year was better, the year before was really tough. That's the one thing about having seasoned leaders. They remember the past. And it's also good to have newer leaders who know that there are possibilities of something being different. And that's what we're doing, is looking at what are the possibilities that exist if we put all our brain power together, if we think, if we use our past, if we use our present, if we use our future to come up with plans that work, and they work.
We depend on our sense of community to get some things done. Government has a role, and certainly private industry has a role. But if you look at the combination of both social services, community services, cultural services, that are addressed through non-governmental organizations, through the not-for-profit world. That's growing geometrically. And there is going to be a challenge to figure out how we learn to partner, that we need to build a sense of community among the communities.
It's incumbent upon us as board members to reach out to understand the broader community. What are those overarching issues that we're trying to help govern within our individual agencies to help out with? And if it's that context that we bring as board members to an individual agency so they don't stay insular.
But increasingly the challenge will be, how do we figure out ways in which we knit together the not-for-profits in a structure that allows a more cohesive, perhaps not necessarily unified, but at least a more coherent approach to solving a problem. There are lots of activities out there that are wonderful and everybody enjoys doing them, but you have to pass the so what test. And the notion of trying to be effective is going to be much more not just a measurable for the funders, but a measure of whether or not the investment in time by the board members and by the management or those that manage are going to feel like they're accomplishing something.
Governance today is so much more than just running our organizations. Governance encompasses the task, the responsibility of designing our organizations to best achieve our missions. Governance requires us to explore and embrace emerging trends and developments, ask far-ranging questions that drive deeper, value-laden decisions, build and rebuild ideas in a complex and evolving social ecosystem. Questions, ideas, decisions.
We went through a conversation this morning about who we are and what do we want to be. I think we've got a pretty good grasp of who we are today, the environment in which we operate. Obviously, that picture is a different picture than 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and we certainly expect that picture to be vastly different 5 to 10 years from now.
As a board member, you're trying to bring the best thinking you can to help the organization move forward. And sometimes it may be not such a big, bold, great thing in budgets, but it's just, how do we get started? How do we get moving in this area? It's not if we should do it, it's how we should do it, how fast we should do it. The board has to be bold enough, have enough courage, have enough conviction to know that we need to change some things and recommend that we need to move forward with some of these broader initiatives.
And the old adage is you can't make everybody happy all of the time is absolutely true. And in order to be an effective leader, I think you have to be able to be willing to make the decisions, make the hard decisions oftentimes, and stick by them. And if you can do that, I think you can help the organization move forward.
I just think you have a group of people who believe in the same mission. Now, you do have some boards where people may think they're coming in to meet somebody to get business, but once you get in there, the passion is contagious. We now have a flag raising outside when a child is killed. We raise the flag. We hate those ceremonies, but we're gonna make sure that people know we didn't forget. Now, if you come to a board meeting and you go to the flag raising, I don't care why you came in here, your heart's gonna change and you will become a part of the mission. You will become a part of the plan to prevent child abuse.
Emerging and evolving ideas. Emerging and evolving leadership. What is ahead for nonprofit boards and nonprofit organizations? Who will govern toward and in the future?
So what does that future board look like? It's a board that is engaged. It's a board that's enthusiastic, obviously passionate about what the cause is, but it's also a board that's steeped in financial background, that understands, yes, budgets and funding and allocations to make sure that organization is going to be sustainable.
Another thing we're seeing is really, again, a change in what nonprofit leadership looks like.
It will be a diverse age group. It will be different ethnicities, but there will also be a diversity in thought. And I think it's really important that we understand that we cannot all have the same view. And when we have people with different views that will challenge us, we will get the best out of a process.
And I think you're seeing people really make that jump from the for-profit sector to the nonprofit sector. There's some challenges there. The nonprofit sector functions very differently. Nonprofit organizations are very collegial, very teaming. It's a very different feel and vibe. And so there's a lot of good and perhaps some difficult things about the changing talent pool that you see in the nonprofit world.
So I think in some respect the stakes are going up, but so are the opportunities.
Diverse, compassionate, savvy, decisive, collaborative. So much energy and concern are brought into the boardroom. But if the issues are tougher, the discussions more difficult, the answer's less obvious. How do we move forward?
Engage, talk to each other, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be setting the tone as role models. And as a role model, probably the biggest thing that people don't realize is you gotta ask for help.
What if we treated everyone as if they were our client or our customer? How would we treat them? What if we thought about the possibilities that exist in achieving our mission if we all work together? What if we just listened to people? What if we looked at the best that people have to offer and stopped thinking we're right? I told a venture capitalist that I was working with, he said, "What'd you do for Lent?" I said, "I gave up being right." What if we could give up being right